Hi, this is George Slaughter for TV Confidential. Watch it. Don't watch it, listen to it.
Hi, it's me, Rhonda Shear from Up All Night. And guess what? I'm back in my brand new home on Kings of Horror.
Ed Robertson welcoming you back to TV Confidential, radio talk show about television. Very happy to welcome back the late night hostess with the mostest, Ms. Rhonda Shear. For 8 years and more than 450 episodes throughout the 1990s, Rhonda Shear kept America up all night, every Friday night throughout the 90s as the host of USA Up All Night, introducing a generation of late-night TV viewers to horror movies and B-movie comedies with her quick wit, big hair, and playful style. Rhonda Shear is officially bringing back Up All Night as a series of monthly specials in partnership with the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube. The fun starts Saturday, October 25th, just in time for Halloween. We'll tell you more about it in just a second. Rhonda Shear, welcome back to our program.
Ed, thank you so much for having me back. It's been a few years, but I've been a busy little bee, so I'm really excited to talk to you about all the things going on, and I'm really excited about bringing back Up All Night.
Up All Night. How long has this been in the works? Was there one particular thing that made it happen, or was it a combination of things?
It's a couple of things. It's something that I've been wanting to do. I'm still on Home Shopping Network. I still have my Rhonda Shear Intimate brand. 23 years there now. Still going strong with that. We also sell on Amazon and TikTok, and like everybody else, is selling in different ways ever since COVID. But on RhondaShear.com, I still have my website devoted to my intimate apparel brand. But all along, I kept hearing there was such a resurgence in the horror genre, and that people kept saying, you should go to these conventions. They have these festivals, they have these cons, and you were pop culture queen and all this and that. And I'm like, well, no, I sell bras and panties now. But anyway, I kept getting gently pushed by fans that were reaching out to me. And then, lo and behold, in the last couple of years, and I think it's because a lot of the people who grew up with me are now producing and directing films, I got cast in 3 different films. And as a cougar, of course. And growing up, but now, like the older version of it, but still the sexy, cougar going after the younger guy. So I'm like, this is so much fun because I'm doing this, it feeds my soul, but I don't have to do it as a living. So through the acting, I got an agent, and I got cast in a Tyler Perry show for a couple of episodes, and that was really cool. So I was getting a little bit of the showbiz bug a little bit, and then even my agent from New York was calling me about doing stand-up comedy. I'm like, I don't know if I could I said I would host a stand-up show, but I don't think I can go back and just wait. I just don't have the hunger that you have years before. But anyway, a lot of showbiz things kept coming in my direction. And so I was at this convention signing autographs in Knoxville, a convention called FrankenCon, which is predominantly horror films. And they only had a few celebrities, and Joe Bob Briggs was there, and Dee Wallace, and a few people, and mainly writers and, authors of some books, and, the memorabilia people. And this gentleman came up to me, and he said, gosh, are you going to ever bring back Up All Night? And I said, well, it's funny. I've been thinking about it. We've played with it. But the only reason we haven't is that we have to really beg for films. So I have a few friends that have films, mainstream films, and they were like, you can use my film right now, or, we'd have to really work to find the films. And we didn't really want to just show, films that were public domain. So that was the hard part was, how do we just get young people who are just starting off and do shorts? What do we do? So we actually did one. So here's what's really cool, Ed, is that we have 2 big buildings. One of them houses our, in St. Petersburg, Florida, houses our design center and is the heartbeat of our intimate apparel business where, we employ about 17 people on a regular basis. And then we had another building that we were using, that we had bought some years back, that we were using to warehouse our products to ship out. And then we started using, a second-party shipping company. So then we had this building, and instead of leasing it out to someone else, we thought, let's build a soundstage. This has nothing to do with Up All Night. So we slowly but surely, my husband, has been putting together this studio, Shear Media Studios it's called, for all things media. It's for television production, news footage, like for people that go on the air. They just sound like myself, that, models, photographers, podcasters, influencers. I mean, literally, and it's big and it's beautiful. It's a big facility, and we're still finishing some parts of it. We're very close, but it's totally open for business. So we decided to build a set that was very reminiscent of the set that I used in the 90s when we did things in-house and not on location doing all night. Anyway, so this person that I met at this convention came up and goes, "You really need to reboot Up All Night." And I said, "Well, it's interesting because now we have a studio." And he said, "Well, I work for a company that is a film distribution company throughout Europe. They have first-run films. They've got a film library of about 15,000 films. They distribute all through Europe and Japan." And he goes, "Let me speak to my boss and see if there's something there." And within a couple of weeks, he called back, the director of programming, a young man, and he said, "We think it would be really good with you guys having the production company and the production facility, and you have you can build a stage, a sound, where you have a sound stage, you can build a set, and we have the films." And that's the whole thing. It's the films, wrap around. And we made a deal with them, and that's how it started. And they already have a channel, even though the CEO distributes film and that's his main business. He has several channels on YouTube that have been quietly doing their thing, but he's been looking for like a spokesperson or a show that would anchor those channels.
And to Rhonda.
Yes.
Rhonda Shear is on the line with us. Rhonda is bringing back Up All Night as I can't get the... I'm going to practice Up All Night, and eventually I'll get it up to a Rhonda high-pitch level. So I'm working on that. But in the meantime, Rhonda is bringing back Up All Night as a series of monthly specials in partnership with the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube. The new series of Up All Night will spotlight all kinds of indie horror, from grassroots do-it-yourself movies to festival standouts, alongside cult classics and world premieres, plus surprise celebrity guests. The fun starts Saturday, October 25th, just in time for Halloween. You can watch the new Up All Night at kingsofhorror.com. For more on Rhonda Shear, Up All Night, or rhondashear.com. Couple of things, just listening to you tell us the backstory of how Up All Night is coming back. One thing I learned from our last conversation and from reading your book, Up All Night, Rhonda, is that you've never been afraid to reinvent yourself, even though you spent most of the last 25 years running your business, being the face of Rhonda Shear Intimates, building a huge following on HSN and so forth. The business person in you, and you've always had a knack for business ever since you were starting off. The business person in you has always recognized that this is the business person, and the entrepreneur in you always recognizes an opportunity when there seems to be a need or a desire for something, such as we want Up All Night back. And so you telling the story, it reminds us that's very much part of how you've always been.
Yes, it is, Ed, and I appreciate you saying that, because I always looked at show business as a business, and if anything, I probably sold myself too hard. But as a comic, you do have to sell yourself on stage, and I had never sold anything when I first went on Home Shopping Network, but I believed in my product, so it was easy to talk about it because it's a product that I developed and designed from scratch, so it was easy to talk about something to love. And the same way with this, it was like so many people kept asking for it, and I saw this resurgence in horror films, and these people that were now, craving a little bit of the 90s, but the young people are just like on their phone and didn't have the fun, and quite frankly, the sexiness that we had in the 90s. It wasn't naughty. It was just, cute, suggestive teen films, and these young kids don't have it. So I have this wonderful audience that's been with me all those years, that's dying to bring this back, and then they've turned their kids onto it. And then I have a lot of people, which I know, and this is where hopefully my business savvy is going to come in, is that I know that there's people that won't know the show at all, and they're very much into the films. Like Joe Bob Briggs fans are very much 100% into the films. Mm-hmm. Films, and then Joe Bob after, they love that he describes everything about the films. Mine will be more sketch forward, and we'll have like themes in it and different actors, and it's going to be just a little bit of the 90s, but I'm going to bring in a lot of young, beautiful girls and talented actors and film stars and musicians. It's going to be just fabulous. But hopefully I'll be able to turn on a younger generation to not just the films that we're going to be showing, which will be great films and great horror films, and some of the B comedies, as you talked about, but also they will fall in love with the whole sketch comedy and kind of be in that world and that escapism, like from the everyday craziness that's going on the planet right now. So I think it's going to be a huge success. And everyone that I've talked to, media-wise and just out in the world, they're really excited about it.
Well, I dare say you don't know how not to make a success. You know, you carved a path for yourself as a performer at a time when the perception was if you're a woman, you can't be a comedian. And even if you make yourself as a comedian, you can only be funny. You can't be pretty and funny. You blew both those things out of the water, Rhonda. And you started your intimate apparel business in response to some of the things the producers had you wear on Up All Night. And so you've always, I mean, you have a knack for business, you have a knack for spotting holes in the market, and you know how to make things work. So I have every confidence that the new Up All Nighter and Kings of Horror will be every bit as successful as the original.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I really hope so. It's really feeding my soul. I mean, we still continue on with our intimate apparel business, doing really well, thank goodness, knock wood. We're still famous for the original eyebrows, still out there in the marketplace, and it's really cool to be full circle. I mean, I think I told you the last time that I reunited with my junior high school sweetheart, who's my business partner, Van Fagan. So, we've been on this journey of just the business side, and then now, we're doing all night with our studio. It's really exciting for us. I mean, a lot of people at our age would be retired, and we are really I feel like we're just getting started, and I think that kind of keeps you young at heart. And also, I love being able to give young people a chance and give them some footage, some time on camera, some time to experiment. And we're bringing in a really great crew of people. I mean, that are just a wonderful director. People that are sound people, are lighting people. Everybody's first class. And then giving some actors a great time. Now, I mean, some time on camera. But we're also, like the first show, we're going to bring in Linnea Quigley, who's a famous screen queen, and a gal named Felissa Rose. They're iconic in the screen queen world. So they can't come in from L.A. because they're shooting and such, but we're putting them on our magic screen. Mm-hmm. And they have scripted lines and some ad-libbing. So even if we can't get someone in the studio, we'll always have guest stars popping in and out. So
yes.
Our first show is a seance, and that's October 25th on the Kings of Horror. Then our next show is November 20th, and that's our Thanksgiving special. And then we go to December 22nd, and that's our Christmas special. And then we go, Ed, twice a month. So we'll be on every other week. So I'm really excited about this new career.
The new career for our guest, Rhonda Shear. Rhonda is bringing back Up All Night, beginning Saturday, October 25th on the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube. There'll be a special coming up. The first one, it'll be once a month in October, November, and December, with the plan to do twice a month beginning in January 2026. You can watch the new Up All Night at kingsofhorror.com, the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube.
Stay with us, folks. We'll be right back.
One more item. If you're starting a company, particularly one that is in an emerging market, you know that averting any sort of legal dispute is crucial to your business plan. Our friends at Tectonic Law offer an array of services that can help you avoid and preempt future litigation while also developing and protecting your intellectual property and intangible assets. Tectonic Law serves the needs of a host of emerging industries throughout California and beyond, including industrial designers, beverage makers, artists, farmers, retail stores, health practitioners, wellness experts, cosmetics manufacturers, nonprofit organizations, innovators in sustainable practices, and libraries. Go to tectoniclaw.com to learn more about how Tectonic Law can help your business thrive. tectoniclaw.com. Rock solid representation for groundbreaking industries.
This portion of TV Confidential is brought to us by our friends at Front Porch Realty, the community of realtors in the Northern Bay area of California that is committed to finding the solution that is best for their clients. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to sell or lease your property in Northern California, call Karen Strain at 415-886-7411 or visit frontporchrealtygroup.com for more information on how they can help you.
Ed Robertson, thanking you for listening to the TV Confidential podcast. If you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss our next episode.
Hi, this is Joanne Worley, and you're listening to TV Confidential. Woo! Be quiet!
Hi, I'm Rhonda Shear. I'm your new USA Up All Night girl, and I use the term loosely. You'll see, I was the obvious choice because they wanted someone who knows their way around LA, the hottest city in the USA. Well, you see, I was a former Miss Louisiana, and I went to the Miss America pageant, and I came out 49th.
For more on Rhonda Shear, upallnight.com. And it sounds like one of the other differences between the new Up All Night and the original is, let's face it, not all of the movies that were shown on the original. I mean, some of them were classic horror movies like Stephen King's Carrie, but a lot of them, especially the comedies, were how should I say it, straight to video. That the only reason they're on television is that nobody watched them on the movies. That doesn't sound like that's what's going on here. These are original movies done for the genre, and if I'm hearing you correctly, one of the things you're going to do with the blackouts and the sketches in between, you're going to provide a little bit of relief for this, because like the things about horror movies, they suck you in and they scare you, and you need a little downtime to catch your breath and relief, and that's where you come in.
It's actually, I didn't even think of that, but that is a great point, and I will be using that in future interviews. Thank you for that, Ed, but it is true. It does give you that little relief from, the scariness. It gives you, a chance to take a breath and kind of giggle. And I have a lead-in show, which is already on Kings of Horror. It's called Meet the Cleavers, and it's a cartoon, and it's kind of like the Addams Family, a little bit gorier, but it's a cartoon, and the characters are hysterical. Actually, the writers are writing me in as a cougar. But I'm a cougar that's a rare cougar. So I'm going to be a human that turns into a cougar, and I'm going to probably eat young men. So it's a really funny bit. But I thought that much like Duckman used to lead into Up All Night,
yes,
I thought that Meet the Cleavers would be a great lead into Up All Night because it's the same kind of lightness. I don't want another horror movie leading into it. And here's the really cool thing, Ed. The Kings of Horror, it reminds me much of when Up All Night started in 91 and when I started, is that it was basic cable that was in its infancy, so we could experiment a little bit. That's what YouTube is that I'm able to really produce and help, write these, cast it. So I'm having this wonderful freedom of being able to be really creative and bring a show back, but bring it back in its new form, updated to today. And it's really exciting to be able to experiment. So it's like the beginning of basic cable or the beginning of TV when we can just really enjoy ourselves. I mean, there's guidelines on YouTube, but still, it's not that we're going nasty or showing nudity. We're not. We're still going to be, there's certain guidelines for YouTube, but it'll be more double entendre, but definitely it'll be the same feeling of what I did. But, today I'll have a lot of young people on, and I'm going to have a musical director, a house band, a neighbor, a landlord, so there'll be some regular cast members along with, revolving cast.
You just, I just thought of something. You talk about this in your book, Up All Night, Rhonda, is that part of your brand, part of Rhonda's brand as a performer is you do innuendo. And the fact that you do the suggestive things, it is sexy, but that's what makes it funny. That's what makes you, that gives you your piece of ground as a performer.
Yes, and that's kind of, you can see anything now on the internet. So there's no more mystery. So it's either you see all, or then we're so politically correct that Sydney Sweeney shows a little cleavage in a jeans ad, and I guess they perceive that as being whatever. Today politically correct is not right. Well, I'm going to bring that back in a very in a cute way, and it'll be sassy, and my ladies will they'll always win out in the end, but it's okay to dress cute and sassy and sexy. We're in a safe space. And in Rhonda's bedroom, where most of the action will take place, anything can happen there, much like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. I mean, we might have a party one night, we might be cooking in the bedroom, we'll bring in a whole kitchen set, and that's the beauty of owning the studio, is that we can create sets right then and there, and we're capable of doing that. So, I mean, it's really fun from a creative point of view, and as an actor's point of view, and helping other performers. I mean, I have to say, it's the full ball of wax. So as much as I love my line, which I do, we're still creating, intimate apparel for the Rhonda Shear brand, this is really feeding my soul and going back to my first love, which of course is acting and comedy.
Rhonda Shear is on the line with us. Rhonda is bringing back Up All Night as a series of specials in partnership with the Kings of Horror channel on YouTube. Fun starts Saturday, October 25th. Beginning at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific on the Kings of Horror YouTube channel. Take a quick time out. We'll talk some more with Rhonda Shear when we come back here on TV Confidential.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-222-0511. 800-222-0511. Again, that's 800-222-0511.